Before I cover the story, I want to give you the scripture and the warning that Jesus gave to Timothy. It's recorded in 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 1. Now the Spirit speaketh expressly that in the latter time some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils. On June 8, 2016, the New American gave us a report that is reporting on a bizarre ritual opening in Switzerland. Look at the headline: Satanic Switzerland, new tunnel opens with bizarre cult-like ceremony. I'm going to play a video for you, but this is one of the frames from that video. And you'll see there's a strange looking creature that is hanging from the ropes during the ceremony. Very occult-like creatures, as you're going to be seeing. Also, the PNU gives some information about this Swiss ceremony. And in their headline, Swiss ceremony, an Illuminati ritual intended to honor Satan. And they have a picture of a goat man. You'll see the goat is on his head. Now, for those of you who may not know, the goat man depicts Satan. It always has. Let me show you some of the pictures that you will find if you do a Google search about the satanic goat man. And you'll see it's a man with wings, and there's the goat and the horns. You'll see there's a man with the wings, the goat head, the horns, depicting Satan. And there's some other pictures as well. And more recent, this photo was taken from one of the cities that they resurrected a statue of this goat man, or Satan, as it's supposed to represent. So now I'm going to go over and play the video that was in the first article so that you can see this bizarre occult. Now you have to ask yourself, why in the world would the Swiss people who developed this rail system that you'll be seeing that's going in and out of these tunnels, why would they have such a ritual that appears to be honoring Satan? Well, only God knows, but the fact of the matter is they did it. So first, listen to what the report says, and then I'm going to take you to a video showing you this bizarre opening ceremony.
It may be a perfect metaphor for modern times, a miracle of the most advanced technology celebrated with a presentation of the most primitive morality. After 20 years in the making, Switzerland's Gotthard Base Tunnel opened last Wednesday to much fanfare. Now the world's longest rail tunnel, the Gotthard has a route length of 35.5 miles and a total of 94.3 miles of tunnels, shafts, and passages. The largest construction project in Swiss history, the 11 billion euros tunnel is also the world's deepest, running more than 1.4 miles below the Swiss Alps. Unfortunately, the project's opening ceremony also reached great depths of depravity. In fact, the ceremony was so depraved that critics have described it as a bizarre occult ritual, satanic, and for the conspiracy-minded, as a manifestation of the post-Christian New World Order. As the Daily Mail put it, the Swiss have put on one of the most bizarre opening ceremonies in history. A winged baby, semi-naked dancers, and a man with a bird's nest on his head is how Switzerland decided to mark opening of world's longest rail tunnel. TrueNews.com provides more detail. The ritual, dubbed by BBC as a lavish performance, was originally intended to represent various aspects of Swiss culture. It included 600 dancers, acrobats, and dramatic actors and cost 8.8 million Swiss francs, $8.9 million. The performance began with a cohort of miners dressed in orange jumpsuits, marching like zombies toward the tunnel's entrance, depicted on a video screen. The miners were then seemingly sacrificed to the tunnel and emerged as veiled spirits, represented by dancers in underwear with white wedding veils. And an actor dressed as a goat sprung out and began ritualistically consuming and mating with the veiled dancers. During this segment, a headshot of the actor dressed as a goat was displayed on the video screen with a black and red backdrop and an absorbing fire lofting around his face, while 3 Egyptian scarabs floated in front of the screen. The next scene shifted to pagan druid ceremony, with the actors now draped in black subdued clothing and adorning nests. plants and trees on their heads. As the goat man laid on the floor, an upside-down tree was displayed on the video screen, and the actors chanted a song in a mix of ancient Germanic and Italian. The ceremony ends with the goat man being resurrected and worshipped as he is introduced to technology, industry and modern society, with many of the actors clothed as cross-dressers, drifters and harlots. Video below.
So that's it. It certainly looks satanic to me. And it is happening at a time where many parts of the world are experiencing the satanic worshipers coming out of the closet. Here in the United States, we're seeing Satanists that are pushing their way into city councils and leading prayers to beginning the meeting. These things are part of the end time signs, the doctrines of devils that Jesus talked about in their warning. Now, either you can believe it or you could push it aside. But the fact of the matter is, it was warned that these things were going to take place, and we're seeing them take place now. In the generation who is seeing all the other signs taking place all at the same time, and it isn't a coincidence. This is Frank DeMore with the End Times Research Ministry.